All right, hey, what's up, everybody? Mike Lindsley back with you for another 9 minutes with me on IGTV, Facebook, and on YouTube. Be sure to download and subscribe to my podcast, the ML Sports Platter, all over the major platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Stitcher, Deezer, the Podbean app, YouTube, and Tumblr, and anywhere else you get your podcast. We are here on a Friday. Where do you think? Rosie's Corner, the official pizza shop of the ML Sports Platter. But it goes beyond pizza. It goes beyond wings. It goes beyond hot and cold subs and Italian entrees and burgers. Today is Fish Friday. They have themed food days throughout the week, like Meatloaf Monday, like the Turkey Slop Tuesday, Chicken and Biscuit Wednesday, and, of course, fish on Friday as well. Pair it with the mac and cheese. Pair it with the fries and the coleslaw. Of course, they're available on Grubhub, and you can like them on Facebook and follow them on Instagram, as this place is rocking and rolling 7 days a week. Make sure you get on down here to Rosie's Corner, right in front of the Brewerton Bridge, Route 11 in central New York, right in Brewerton, right off the Bartell Road exit. And, of course, as I mentioned, follow them all over the social media. You'll be able to see all those posts of the delicious food that they have in store for you. And, yes, get them on delivery or on Grubhub. Gosh, the weather is the way it is. They'll help you by bringing the food right to your door. Rosie's Corner, a proud sponsor of the ML Sports Platter. So, Brian Cashman, general manager of the Yankees, what are you going to do now? You've been given permission by the powers that be, according to multiple baseball sources. Number one, I believe, Jeff Passan of ESPN, listing that basically that Hal and Hank Steinbrenner have given Brian Cashman the okay to go out and give Garrett Cole a monster contract. Now, I don't know what that contract looks like for Garrett Cole. I mean, the Yankees at this point, they tried to draft him. They didn't go and trade for him just a couple of years ago. They've missed the boat on him several times. The thing that has you probably a little leery if you're a Yankee fan is, what if the Yankees give him the big contract now at the age of 29 and it doesn't work out? He has an injury. If they give him a 6, 7, 8-year deal, is he going to run into the twilight of his career? Is he going to have some kind of an injury situation when he's in his mid-30s? And then you're going to have to deal with a bad contract, a deal that's maybe prorated, a deal that's maybe backloaded at the end of it, and you have to pay him big. You've already got bad contracts on that team. They're trying to get out of the 1 year with Ellsbury as it is. I know they released him, but they're trying to get the 26 or 8 million, whatever the hell $1 million it is, back, because they're accusing him of going and seeing specialists without their permission. You've got the horrible Giancarlo Stanton contract with a bunch of years left and about $30 million, of course, per year to pay. And then you have a situation going on as well with Aaron Hicks, a guy who's out with a Tommy John until at least the All-Star break. I think that was a horrific contract as well for the New York Yankees at $70 million over 7 years. Some people like it. Defensive metrics, hits home runs, blah, blah, blah. Good fielder. But I don't think Aaron Hicks is worth that kind of money. So now you're looking at, okay, you got Tanaka to finish up with a contract. You got some other big money players. You got to deal with the Ellsbury situation. You got Stanton. You got to pay Judge soon. You got to pay Gleyber Torres soon. Is it worth it for Garrett Cole if you're the New York Yankees? And I got to tell you, I go get him. I do not care. I am taking the chance on Garrett Cole right now for many, many reasons. Number one, if you go get Garrett Cole, you absolutely positively now have an ace of your staff. That is something that you need to win a World Series. It will also improve the pitching depth of your team if you go and get Garrett Cole, the absolute real deal Holyfield guy, the best pitcher on the planet for the last couple months of the baseball regular season, and of course into the postseason and through most of the postseason. You have your ace, number one. Number two, it creates starting pitching depth. Number three, by signing Garrett Cole, it takes away the biggest piece of your biggest competitor on your way to get to a World Series, the Houston Astros. If the Yankees get Garrett Cole, who really is standing in their way? The Houston Astros still, but you would obviously have to put the Yankees ahead of the Astros on paper, considering that they were really one win away again from making the World Series against Houston. This has been 2 out of 3 years where the Yankees, in 2017, 18, 19, the Yankees went to a Game 7 twice against this team, and it was because they didn't have an ace that they didn't win. I know that a lot of people are going to tell you, Jose Altuve had the big home run, hit it off Chapman. Sure, but throughout the series, the Yankees didn't have enough pitching compared to the Houston Astros. They had to dip into the bullpen. They had to go to people early. They had to bring starters out when they really didn't, when they really shouldn't have. And I just think if you get Garrett Cole, you're taking a huge piece away from the Houston Astros. Now you've hurt their starting ace situation, and you've hurt their depth of that rotation. You move Justin Verlander up to the number 1 spot. You're going to have your Cuetos and a couple other pitchers in that rotation, but it's not going to be the same if you don't have Garrett Cole. Other than that, the Angels are not a threat. Don't have enough pitching, don't have a bullpen, don't have enough offense surrounding Mike Trout. He's out there to die for the next 10, 12 years. The Rangers moving into a new ballpark, even if they have Anthony Rendon sign him in free agency and go get a couple other players, they're not the caliber team that the New York Yankees are. The Cleveland Indians are going through major transition, really solid team, but in a 7-game series, if you have Garrett Cole, I don't think the Indians can beat the Yankees. Boston Red Sox going through some transition, maybe trimming some payroll. Are they going to try to trade David Price? Are they going to try to long-term Mookie Betts after this year? Maybe they'll try to trade him in the hot stove. I can't even wrap my arms around the idea of trading Mookie Betts, a guy who I think is a top 5 player in all of Major League Baseball. Go down the list across the board. For any reason, the Yankees getting Garrett Cole makes them the favorite in the American League to win the pennant, and it also hurts a lot of the other teams, especially Houston, the team that Garrett Cole would leave, because they now don't have one of their 2 aces. Verlander is left to be the only ace, and then starting pitching depth really gets hurt in Houston, and it obviously improves in New York. You go through all the teams, all the possible contenders, Boston, the Twins, the Cleveland Indians, the Astros, all those teams that I mentioned, it would absolutely help the New York Yankees. I think the time is now. The New York Yankees cannot wait. Time is now. There are starters available. Zach Wheeler already signed with the Philadelphia Phillies. You got to stop screwing around with pitchers like Jay Happ. You got to stop screwing around with bringing back guys like CC Sabathia for 1 year. I understand CC is a Hall of Famer, 3,000 strikeouts, 250 wins, great Yankee, won a World Series, blah, blah, blah. Carried a bunch of teams on his back, Brewers, Indians, Yankees in his career. Great career riding off into the sunset. He'll probably end up in Cooperstown one day. But CC Sabathia on the back end, Jay Happ, and aging Masahiro Tanaka, it ain't going to get it done. Masahiro Tanaka, I still trust him in the postseason. I think James Paxton can still bring something to the table. But how great is it now if you can put Luis Severino down a little bit? Now he's your number 2 guy, a lot less pressure there. He's not the ace of the team anymore. You go Garrett Cole, you go Luis Severino, although I'd go James Paxton in there at number 2 because he's a lefty. I love going righty-lefty, righty, and lefty-righty-lefty. I like that matchup. You kind of keep teams on their toes a little bit, but neither here nor there. I know Severino's more of a 2 than a 3. Fine. What if you put Garrett Cole at the 1, Severino at the 2, you got Paxton at the 3, you got Tanaka at the 4, and then at the 5, you're basically going to figure it out between any number of different guys who could compete for that position. Isn't that something else right there? If the Yankees didn't have to deal with the contract of Giancarlo Stanton, and if I were Brian Cashman, I'd go out and give Garrett Cole and Steven Strasburg 5-year deals right now, and I'd go Garrett Cole, James Paxton, Steven Strasburg, Luis Severino, Masahiro Tanaka. That'd be my 5-man rotation for the New York Yankees. Neither here nor there. The Yankees are close right now. They obviously have been knocking on the door to the World Series in 2017 and 19. They had an unbelievable year this past year. They've won 100 games back-to-back seasons. This team needs to win it now, and they needed to win it last year as well, but they have not had enough starting pitching. They haven't been able to go out and get somebody on the free agent market. They don't develop pitching that well. The time is now. The opportunity is now. Normally, I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't say, well, just go give 6 years to Garrett Cole, 7 years, and just give it $230-40 million, and we'll worry about it later. I am saying it now, because if the New York Yankees can win a World Series in the first 2 years of that Garrett Cole contract, I couldn't care less about the back end. You got guys with a lot of money coming off the books here within the next few years. The Ellsburys, the Tanakas. I wouldn't bring Brett Gardner back. You got a bunch of guys coming off. Got to deal with Stanton. Got to deal with Hicks. Got to deal with a couple other guys. And you got to deal with paying Aaron Judge and possibly Gary Sanchez, which I would think long and hard about that. Gleyber Torres for sure has to be paid. But right now, the here and now, go win a ring. And Garrett Cole is going to help you do that. Mike Lindsley here from Rosie's Corner. 9 minutes with me. IGTV, Facebook, YouTube. Hit me up on Twitter at Mike L Sports. And get down here for gift cards for the holidays if you're in and around Central New York. Pizza, pasta, hot and cold subs, wings, you name it. And of course, Fish Friday. Rosie's Corner, proud sponsor of the ML Sports Platter. As I always tell you, enjoy the games.